Good evening and thank you for joining us. Euphoria is ruling the streets of Cairo tonight. An unprecedented uprising which began 18 days ago has ended. The 30-year rule of President Hosni Mubarak, and Egyptians are celebrating with fireworks, relief and cheers of joy. The post-Mubarak era in the Middle East has begun, and the architects of this revolution of rage, the people, are jubilant tonight. And it all happened very quickly. The announcement was made on state TV by Vice President Omar Suleiman. Control was handed over to the military. In the U.S. Capitol, President Barack Obama called for a credible transition to democracy. We will have local reaction, but we begin with Jas Johal in the Egyptian capital.
It was an explosion of joy and relief 30 years in the making. Hosni Mubarak was the only leader millions of young Egyptians ever knew, and his departure was a moment many thought would never come.
For those who support us, thank you very much. And this is only the beginning. The Egyptians redefine the true meaning of revolution. With open chest and empty hands, we did destroy a regime.
Word came not from him, but from the vice president. A somber one-minute announcement that the armed forces are now in charge. After 18 days of relentless protests, at times violent, the response was electric. Overnight, Hosni Mubarak's own military forced him out, threatening to join the protesters if he didn't leave. A moment in history that will reverberate throughout the Arab world.
I'm thinking of freedom. I'm thinking of my boys, that he will have freedom, we will talk, we will have everything. It's our country and not his country anymore.
How about you, ma'am? I know you're on the phone.
My brother. What
are you telling him?
Yes, I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm sorry I can't talk.
In the sea of people, some celebrated by reaffirming their faith. Barriers that once separated warring factions were now thrown on the ground. Tanks that once represented Hosni Mubarak's power now are overrun by his once subjects. It was ultimately a leaderless revolution, young and old, religious and secular.
This day, Egyptian dignity came back. Now, the power of the people are showing that for all the Arabian governors that we can do something. Yes, we can, and we did it. This is the Egyptian people, and this is the real Egyptian people.
A military council will now run Egypt until elections can be held. There are many more challenges ahead. Tonight, though, Egypt celebrates its hard-won liberty.
Among those celebrating in Egypt is Solomon Abdallah, who is married to a medicine hat woman. He spoke to Chat News from Alexandria, Egypt, just moments after the announcement.
Yeah, of course, now everyone who sits on the chair is going to be worried more about the people than earning money for himself. So everyone who's going to take responsibility in the government is going to be worried, because they now know what we are capable of.
Meanwhile, a world away from the excitement in Egypt, Medicine Hat's Member of Parliament is reacting to today's historic events.
Being able to do that, what the Egyptians have done is actually amazing, because certainly the dictatorships that have been around in the Middle East, very difficult to protest, and it started peacefully.
We will have more details on the announcement and reaction later in the show.